Well, what a wonderful day to be on the motorcycle. Not. Actually, we're in the BRU up at Rome Liquor and Tobacco in Rome, Georgia. We've been invited in to do a bourbon hunt, so let's see what tasty bourbons and whiskeys they have. Are you a fan of High West? I've heard about this one. They're double rye. Interesting. Not a rye guy, but if you are, $59.99 will get you that double rye. Coming around here, looks like they've got a single barrel of the Angel's Envy. You don't see single barrels of the Angel's Envy very often. And that is $89.99. And coming around, Nulu Experimental. I got a couple of Nulu Experimentals a while back from Sealbox. This one is finished in toasted and honey barrels. Oh, that's very interesting. But Nulu, the experimental, can be a little pricey. But that sounds really interesting. There's our Pursuit United that we love so much. And Good Times. I didn't know that you could get Good Times in Georgia now, so this is news to me. This is their rye. Barrel strength. Interesting. We'll see if they have any of the other Good Times. Looks like they have a Jack Daniels pick. And then here's some Knob Creek. Let's see if this is their single barrel. Yeah, this is their single barrel. Rome Liquor. This is their rye at 115. And I think they probably have, yeah, they've got the bourbon on the bottom here. Edmund's Honor. Now, I'm not familiar with this one. Straight bourbon whiskey finished in cognac cases with pure vanilla essence. Produced by Untold Spirits out of Bloomington, Indiana. Interesting. That's $49.99. Of course, there's those fiddlers, the Georgia Heartwood, you can't go wrong, and the Fiddler Amburana, if you're a fan of Amburana. And over here, it looks like they've got a store pick of the Woodford Reserve. Yep. Interesting. Kings. And then, oh look, they've also got a Blue Note. This is the unfiltered, uncut at 119.6 proof. Oh, that's a good price too. $49.99. And then Maker's Mark. It looks like they've changed the labeling for all the private selections now. This is their selection, Pancakes and Rum, and you can see the stave selection. And that's the key to getting the Maker's Mark that you like, is pick a stave selection that you're familiar with. And we got High West on the end here. And now we're at the beginning of their bourbon aisle. So let's go down the aisle and see what kinds of new and interesting bourbons we can find. Well, you can see they have plenty of Eagle Rare. And $49.99, not a bad price at all. Okay, well, let's see what else they have in interesting bourbons and whiskeys. We've got the Jefferson's Ocean. Pursuit. And there's the Kentucky Owl. You know, they're in bankruptcy right now, so if you're interested in picking up a Kentucky Owl before they're not available, now's your chance. And down on the third shelf, we got our Wild Turkey, Russell's Heaven Hill. And look at that. Houghton's 15. I've seen the Houghton's 12 around, but the Houghton's 15, you don't see that very often. Coming back up, Buzzard's Roost, and Pursuit United. You know, I'm not a big rye fan, but I love their Black Label Pursuit United Rye. It's really good in what we call, or what they call, a rye Rita. So you replace the tequila with rye, and you've got a new kind of margarita, a bourbon-loving, rye-loving margarita. Come up. There's the Duke. You don't see the Duke. I heard this one is really good, the Founders Reserve. I've not had a taste of it yet, just what I've heard. And we got our Yellowstone and our Starlight. And, oh, look here. I've been looking to see when this would show up, and they've only got one of them. The Barrel Double Barrel, or Barrel Foundation Double Barrel. It's like the Foundation, it's a 5-year, but it's double barreled. And for $56, only $6 more than the regular Barrel Foundation. I might have to try that. That may be a buy today. Come down here, new riff. And on the very bottom shelf, you can see the old tub is still here. Drink them if you got them. Old tub is going away. Redemption, Redwood Empire. There's our Penelope selection, Calumet. I'm interested in trying the 15-year, just trying to find the best price on the 15 to see how close it is to that Sam Houston. I understand it's the same company, same parent company. So Four Roses, there's some Joseph Magnus. And let's see, oh, we got James E. Pepper Batch Proof. Let's see what batch this is. This is batch 39. Unbelievable. I started out with batch 2 and loved it, and now they're already on batch 39. Coming up, Jeff the Creed. I'm kind of hit and miss with these guys. I didn't like this one, but I really like their 4-grain. I haven't tried their red, white, and blue. I've got their weeded, but I haven't opened it yet. But the 4-grain is pretty good stuff. Let's see what else they got here. Isaac Bowman, if you're a fan of port finished bourbon, you cannot go wrong with the Isaac Bowman. Oh look, what did I tell you about early times? It was making a reappearance, and there it is again. It's 4 or 5 bottles for $26. Unbelievable. I'm glad to see it back on the shelves. 1792. I like the foolproof. I didn't really think that much of the single barrel, but you know, I'm a big fan of the sweet wheat and love, absolutely love, the 1792 12-year if you can find it. There's that Paul Sutton again. I'm meaning one day I'll pick up a Paul Sutton. Elements, High and Wicked. High and Wicked's pretty good. Coming down through here, a lot of your normals. Nothing really new I'm seeing in this area. Widow Jane 10-year, about the price you'll pay for it. I still think it's a little bit overpriced for what you're getting. Meaning, I'd go and buy 2 of their Eagle Rares before I'd buy 1 of the 10-year. I like it, but just not at that price. And it's not the bottle shop. It's Widow Jane. Coming in, we got our Knob Creeks. And look, once again, I'm seeing these guys on the shelf. A year ago, 2 years ago, it would never happen. You would never see the batch proof on the shelf, and I'm seeing them. This is the 3rd or 4th place that I've seen this batch proof. Coming down here, Maker's Mark. And there's our Jim Beam products. And we got some more barrel picks on the back here. Elijah Craig single barrel. This is 121.5 proof. 8 years. Not a bad price either. And then some tequila. Oh, and look, here's our short barrel stuff. Fantastic. You know, I did a review of this right here. This short barrel aged 9 years, finished in cognac barrels. It's hazmat. I'll show you the hazmat sticker. There you go. It's absolutely wonderful. It doesn't drink its proof. It's worth every penny of that $99.99. It's really a great 9-year, actually I think it's technically a 10-year bourbon whiskey. And we got the bee's knees over here. And looks like the single barrel and their double barrel, double oaked, all available. And they got quite a few of them. Coming down here, another barrel. Well, you know how much of a fan I am of RM Rose. And this is 75% corn, 15% rye, 10% malted barley. I'm a fan of their wheated version, single barrel, but I haven't tasted anything bad coming out of RM Rose. More foolproofs down here. And look, Yellowstone handpicked for $60. Oh, that's a good deal. And this is the only Yellowstone I really like, the cast strength. This is 119 proof, and this is good juice. So, cast strength, single barrel, hand-picked for $60. You can't go wrong. It looks like they've got some Jefferson's Reserve single barrel. You know, I don't think I've ever had the Jefferson single barrel, but it's $65. Not bad at all. Well, there's something you don't see every day. Buffalo Trace out in the wild for under $40, and it's a store pick for $36. And how you know it's a store pick? Because all the Buffalo Traces look alike, but when you look for the store pick, look for the sticker on the side. And that's exactly what it looks like. And that tells you that it's been selected. And I've got 2 or 3 of these things, and I always go for the store picks versus the standard if I can find them. So down on the left side of the aisle here is a combination of ryes and American whiskeys and a few bourbons, so we're going to go through that too. So, oh, look here. Now, I've not had any of the very old St. Nick, but they've got, what, 2, 3 versions of it? An 8-year rye, a harvest rye whiskey, and a cast strength rye whiskey. So, a lot more Whistle Pig for you Whistle Pig fans. Coming down here, a lot more of the ryes. And I would tell you, I'd point out the really good ryes to you guys, but you know that would be, I would be lying about it. I am not a connoisseur of ryes. I have a few ryes that I like. I have a few lies that I like. I have a few ryes that I like. I have been interested in the RY3 though. Look at, they've got the cigar series. That's interesting. And Lock, Stock, and Barrel. I've heard good things about them. That's here. And here's the 2XO. So we got a little bit of bourbon mixed in here. The Innkeeper is my favorite. Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong. Scratch that. The Tribute Blend is my favorite. The Kiowa Blend probably comes in second. Innkeeper comes in third. And going down the shelving here, we've got some Nulus and some Doc Swinsons. Old Elks. There's the cigar cut, punch cut. And quite a few of the Bardstowns. Nice. And working our way down, we see another Nashville barrel. Now this is just their cast strength. You know, we've got that 7-year small batch, which was wonderful. I see this one in Georgia quite a few places, so we may have to try that and see how it compares with that 7-year. Going down, J.W. Kelly, Noble Oak, Wyoming. Fiddler, they've got a good selection of Fiddler here. And then Old Fourth Distillery, they're 10-year, they're double casks, good things about. And that peg leg porker, that's actually pretty good Tennessee straight bourbon whiskey. If you haven't tried it, I think it's worth a try. Coming down here, we got our Blue Loose. And Old Dominick, you know, I tried Old Dominick, the cask strength, at a recent bottle share, and I don't know, just I wasn't a fan. Maybe I need to try their bottled and bond, but I didn't care that much for the cask strength. There's George Dickel down here. Come back in here. And we got our Uncle Nearest, Chattanoogas, and Jack Daniels varieties. Jesse James. And I'm not sure what they call this area. I'll call it the Covey Hole because that's where some of the really good stuff is. I'll see if I can't zoom in on a few of the shelves, but up top there, Widow Jane 15-year. We've got, looks like our Decadence. Let's see here, some Four Gates, 2XO Sneaker Blend. I heard that's pretty good. I've been wanting to try one of those. We've got some Straight Rye and Barrel Proof, E.H. Taylor. And then we got, looks like an Old Forester Single Barrel. And some Blantons. Down towards the bottom there, Wyatt Earp, High West, a midwinter night stram. I never get that right. Boss Hog on the bottom. Some very nice, very hard to find. What's that? Barrel 33? Interesting. I'll have to look into that one. And then, of course, we've got our Heaven Hills over here, our Grain and Glass, Weller Special Reserve, full proof, and there's the two of the new Four Roses single barrels, the OESK and OBSF, and Whistle Pig 18 there on the bottom. And if you're wanting to find out what some of their store picks are like, this is where you come and ask for Harry, and if he's got an open bottle of a store pick, he'll let you try it. So you can try before you buy. And look at this. A lockbox game, 3 tries per person per day. If you figure out the code, you can get one of these Thomas Handys or Weller Full Proofs. Oh, George T. Stagg. Oh my God. If you figure out the combination, you can buy the whiskey inside the box for MSRP. I'm going to have to give that a shot. And I'm not going to go through all the other spirits they have here. Gin, tequila, other whiskeys, scotches. But they have a lot packed into the store, including wines and beers. So if you're in Rome, do as the Romans do and stop by Rome Liquor and Tobacco. They've got a lot of good and tasty bourbons and whiskeys.